In the back. What did you say?
Hello, I just need a new bag.
Yeah, you're supposed to be to my side. If you were behind me, you'd be my
you cover
Saudi
me all the
Arabian
time.
wife.
I can't stand when people just cover me and you see only half of my face. You know, I'd rather make a step back and you see more of my body. You know.
Oh, okay. That's what it's for. All right.
Full body performance.
Because I'm allowing you to see the body.
All right.
This is Inga, by the way.
Hello.
I met Inga in Mykonos. We're in Ibiza right now.
Last year.
We met in Mykonos last year, and we're like, hey, let's go to Ibiza next year. And literally, we met for a weekend. I was just doing my own thing, and she walked up to me, and she's like, she hit on me. And she said, are you straight or are you gay?
Because you were so flashy, you know.
If I was flashy, I'd be Iranian.
Okay. I wasn't sure, but yeah, it was clarified pretty quickly.
It was because I was dressed really good.
Yeah, and I remember I jumped on you and started to touch you all over your body, and I was wearing a dress with no underwear. And as soon
I
as
didn't know you had it done.
found down you straight, I was like, oh my god.
Oh my
Step
god,
back. Step
my
back.
pussy's getting wet.
Yeah.
So
Nothing bad happened.
nothing bad happened.
That's why we're here now in Ibiza.
Okay, bad things could have happened and we could have still been friends, but yes, nothing happened because girls have to clarify. I didn't sleep with him, just FYI. I would never sleep with such a guy. But yeah, so we met in Ibiza. I mean, we met in Mykonos. She's Ukrainian, and she, born in Crimea, which we'll get to later on in our segment. But grown in Crimea. Am I saying that right, by the way?
Yeah.
Crimea?
Crimea,
Okay.
Ukraine. Perfect pronunciation.
Yeah. She lives in Germany now. Works as a business manager in IT. I won't tell you which place
Done.
because
Let's keep it confidential.
but it rhymes with Oich Bank.
You are very strange. It's no longer a secret, I guess.
And hi. Oh, we're taping a live web series.
Yeah, you want to be a part of it? He's taking a show.
It's a show. What's your name?
My name is Rebecca.
I
Rebecca.
like it glitter about that. Where did you get it from?
I get it in Santos Hotel in the Hawaiians party today.
Yeah?
Every Saturday we have Hawaiians party with glitter artists inside.
Oh, cool.
They make the
okay.
makeup that you want.
Okay.
So, and I have this for you too. Oh, you got it?
What's this?
It's for the keys. How do you say?
Keychain?
Yeah, that's it.
Is it a gift?
Yeah, for you.
Really?
Maybe one for him. He's a good boy or what?
Yeah.
He's
I'm a good guy or no?
Yeah, and he's
That's a no. I'm not a good guy.
he's a good guy.
Who wants a good
to.
guy? No one ever wants a good guy. Everyone wants a bad guy.
See your eyes.
Good. It's mysterious. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good meeting you.
Thank you
We
very
have
much.
to-
Okay,
Yeah,
so
thank
the
you so
entrance
much.
will be here. The entrance will be here to the party. Yeah. Great.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right.
Have a good day.
Thank you for the invitation. Bye.
Also, hope you don't mind if I was cutting her off a little too short because our Walk with Sadiq, as our viewers already know, it's only a 30 to 45 minute video and it's unedited.
We need to keep it short
We need to keep it short
and be precise.
because Hotel Santos got free advertising. I charge for that, motherfuckers. Pay me my advertising money. I'm bringing people like Inga on this shit, and you're not gonna just, I got paid for my gimbal and my phones. Anyway, her Instagram.
Check this out.
I can't get to it. I can't get to it. It's a plane. People have seen planes before.
Yeah.
So
like every 15 minutes, you experience this here. It's fun. Yeah.
her Instagram handle is at my_Inga INGGA.
Correct.
It's actually like a take on my nigga.
But not quite the same.
And by the way, don't use that word at home. If you're white, you're not allowed to. And then if you're brown, you can use it in context. So this is context.
Yeah, but you always can use my Inga.
Inga.
Always works. That's
My
why.
Inga works. That's not offensive at all. So this is Walk with Sadiq, Season 2, Episode 3.
Let's go. keep
All right.
on your right.
Oh, you got to keep on my right. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to keep on my right. So we were discussing earlier, you know, traveling to different places, and you said recently you were in Dubai, I think.
Yeah, it's February.
And when you were in Dubai,
Yeah.
it was awkward or it was different for you because you went by yourself.
Yeah. So,
Typically, you travel. Go ahead.
yeah, so normally I never travel alone. So I'm a very social person. I always need to have somebody around me, even if I'm not talking to this person. So I try always to organize people when I travel because I always need somebody, just to share my emotions, just to grab and say, hey, look at it. Like you see the plane
Right.
previously?
Thanks.
Just, hey, look at it. Yeah, so that's why I was super depressed when I went on a trip by my own because originally it also was not planned to go there on my own, but my friend.
And which is also more difficult too for women, FYI.
Yeah,
because
I did not know what to expect because it is an Arabic country. I did not know how to dress up properly because there are some restrictions on dress code, etc. But okay, so I was a little. First 2 days, I just did not know what to do, who to talk to. My best friends were Uber drivers, honestly.
Right.
They told me so much about the country, political situation, economics, etc. And this man and women situation. Yeah, so, but then I went on tours on my own, got to know new people. I got to know one Chinese guy who appeared to be a very good photographer.
Right.
So I have very good pictures from Dubai, that's why. And then I met some other people from Philippines and India.
So it ended up working out.
So at the end, I didn't even want to go home because it appeared to be so nice. Nice meeting new people in new places from all over the world, exchange experiences. So I understood I shouldn't have had so much fear of going on a trip on my own. Yeah, it was a good experience.
Yeah, and like I said, it's different for a woman versus a man going traveling by themselves. Like I remember going to Marrakesh and people I'm like, oh, girls should not go here by themselves. I mean, they can, but it's this weird line of this country that's Western but Arab and conservative. It's this weird culture, and I went with my ex-girlfriend who's white, so she stood out, and I looked like I was Moroccan. So everyone's trying to speak French to me. They're like, you're Moroccan, and then they would speak in French. I'm like, Italiano, they'd speak in Italian. Arab, and I'm like, no, none of those. I'm Canadian. No, I'm just kidding. So
I speak Canadian, right?
So yeah, you want to do a quick interview with someone?
Maybe one note. What I found funny in Dubai. One day I was wearing a dress. I was Habibi like 5 times.
Yeah.
I decided, okay, no dresses. No dresses.
Habibi.
All right, so interview.
Let me ask someone. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Hi guys, do you speak English by any chance? We're doing a recording for my show about I travel around the world and I record in different cities. Would you be down for a quick 1 minute question answer thing? Yeah? So this is my friend Inga right here. She's my guest for the show. We actually met in Mykonos. We haven't seen each other since, and we decided to come here.
We met in January, don't lie.
Oh shit, yeah, that's right.
I have to make a translation for her.
Okay.
Siamo conosciuti a Mykonos e hanno deciso di venire qua.
Okay. You have to speak loud though, because this gets watched around the world. So, which language are you speaking?
English and Spanish.
Okay. Italian. That's what I thought it was. I was like, that doesn't sound like Spanish, but. So we were discussing traveling alone as a woman.
Okay.
Have you ever traveled alone as a woman?
This is a travel alone.
You by yourself?
Yeah, and
you guys
she
just
also.
met.
Yeah.
So you met here, girls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we work here for promoter, but we arrive alone.
Okay. And
from
how?
Puglia, each other, but I'm from north of Puglia and she's from the south.
Okay. So how does it feel?
Come ti senti a essere venuta da sola qua? Benissimo, alla grande. She say in a sarcastic way, alright.
No, amore.
No sarcastic?
sarcastic? No.
Really?
No, really. Okay. Amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. I think that travel alone is it's good because you feel everything for you. So you take all the wanderlust
Right.
from the travel, you know.
Right.
So it's amazing. You are alone with yourself, and even if you know people and meet some new people, it's just you and sky, different sky from your city, different sea from your city, different tongue, different languages.
Right, different food, different textures,
And
visuals.
I have a motto that is make everything like your own.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say "Make America Great Again." but-
Yeah. You know, sentirsi a casa in ogni posto in italiano.
what does that
okay?
mean?
Like you feel home even if it's not your home.
Yeah.
Okay, so make your home
Wherever-
every place that you are sleeping on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I sleep on the bench,
Yeah.
I get a little dining room. This is my dining room on a bus stop bench.
But where are you from?
I live in New York. She's in Germany.
You live in. So you're from America. Oh my God.
I grew up in Chicago. I was born in Pakistan, but no one can guess.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone thinks I'm Spanish or Italian, or like we were discussing Marrakesh, and we're like,
Is this a live interview?
this is a live interview. You're right in time
Getting
to,
into the group.
to
Blog or is it interview?
to bomb. I love how like they just bombed your interview.
But you put this on
Well,
your like
yes.
your.
It's on my YouTube and
This is on
everything.
YouTube.
So-
How many subscribers? Don't
I
mind
only have 2 subscribers.
me. I'm about to make 3.
One of them is me. Sounds.
And
can
the
you
second
give
one
me-
is
Yeah.
the third one over here.
Yeah, thank you. I need that's a 50% increase in subscribers. I have 2
exactly.
subscribers on
I
YouTube.
mean, every little counts. What do you gotta think
On
of
a
it?
side note, where did you buy that from?
Where did I buy it? New York.
New York.
Yeah.
You know that fucking Iron Man.
From around here.
Huh?
Can I get one from around
Doesn't he
here?
look like Iron Man?
Sorry. But thank you so much.
Thank
Can I
you
give
so
you a hug?
much. Yeah.
Look
I
like a
love
hugger.
people like
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I love you.
Nice to meet you.
Take care. Good meeting you.
Enjoy.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, we have to go. This is like a live type of show. All right, take care. Good meeting you. Also, you gotta be on my right. Also,
Yes, boss.
I was told that these visors, like in the videos, they don't look good, so I have to take them off according to someone who watches my shit. And I feel like my visors are way better. They're like a signature.
Stay hydrated.
But so I guess I guess it's not it's not all bad. I mean, then again, I mean she did move to Ibiza, so it's an easier place to transplant to. But I still hold true that like it's definitely. I mean, like she said earlier, the moment she wore, you said earlier, the moment she wore a dress, Habibis came out, right?
Exactly.
So.
So you should be careful. It depends on where you go. You still have to respect local traditions and be aware of them, and it just makes
Yeah.
everything then easy.
Get your vaccinations if you're going to a
Exactly.
country there where you need. Morocco, I had to get vaccinations. So we went out earlier. So one of the things that Inga and I connect on is fashion. We both love fashion. We both are very vain. I don't know if you can tell or not by our glasses or everything else on our bodies.
They are not.
Like the only difference between her and me is that I have a nipple showing.
And I did a little bit more sit-ups maybe before we came.
You probably did way more. So.
Yeah, but I mean, independently, how many glasses I'll take, none of them is as cool as Sadiq's ones.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I mean, that's a thing that we were arguing about. We're not arguing about what, but we're talking about the other day. Is like she's like, I gotta look this good and I gotta look that good. I'm like, Inga, you're gonna look great. You look hot, but just remember, doesn't matter who you are at the party. You're not gonna look as good as me.
Okay, but that's why just to avoid any conflicts, which is decided, he's the pleasure one, I'm the sexy one.
Well, she's genetically good looking. Like, come on, I can't even compete. I'm from like a,
I'm cute and sexy, perfect mix.
you know,
I think so. I had it.
some of my genetics just didn't get there. And
Okay,
so,
you have a good sense of humor. How about that?
yeah, I mean, I know I'm a 7 out of a 10. I don't get mad. I make it up with my fashion sense, my personality, my intelligence, and my money.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a lot of money, but I have some. That helps.
Yeah.
So, like, how do you do your fashion? How do you select your stuff?
All right. So I'm into, like sexy, provocative style. But this is unfortunately not what I can wear to my work. So anytime I travel, I try to buy some stuff online. Maybe I know some online shops that offer some very very cute and sexy things. And also I buy a lot of things when I'm actually on vacation. Like today, for example, we bought a very
went shopping
very
today.
nice bottom piece for myself. If you like it, you're gonna see it whenever I wear it. I guess I'll wear it for a David Guetta party. Yeah, so,
And you can follow her at my_INGGA.
right?
She uploads so many fucking stories, man.
Reading, yeah.
I don't even take stories here. It's like I know she's gonna take 1,000 of them.
I'm a story animal, yeah, so if you want to see more of
And-
Sadiq, also check my
Yeah.
stories.
I think the only time I saw you put down your phone, like fully put down your phone, was when we were eating. And then
Yeah.
she was just eating.
I
So I just have to put food in front of her every time I wanted her.
and only because I had to charge it and put it separate.
Oh yeah. And you almost forgot it.
But, and
so,
then
okay.
I dropped it, but whatever.
Where do you think, which country do you think you found your best pieces at, like your fashionable pieces?
So I find a lot of pieces I like on the online store in Spain.
What's it called?
It is.
Unless if you don't want to give it away.
I do not. Well, I'm not being paid for this, so why doing it?
Huh?
I'm not being paid for this, so why doing
Oh
it?
no, that's true. You do whatever you want. Plus, I also don't like to tell people where I get my shit
How about?
because I don't want people walking around with stuff that I have on.
All right.
Unless I get to a point where I can curate. Like I'm a celebrity and I have a curator that goes out and like does a lot of the work for me.
Yeah.
I don't want people to know where I got my shit. Then everyone's walking around with the same shit.
So honestly, I'm an ambassador for a couple of these companies. So how about you just go to my page, check out all the codes I promote for all the websites, and you can get the same shit I wear with discount.
So these companies, you're the ambassador. So what? You like help with foreign policy?
Nah, so it's like.
Would you have like an ambassador vehicle and like you have like a building where you go to with your ambassador flag?
Yeah, right. No,
And then you're
I
like-
mean, they call it ambassador because you start like.
I'm
with
the
nothing.
ambassador to Morocco for Zara.
Okay, so ambassador because you start from nothing. They're not like paying you, but by giving you in your followers a certain discount, which includes your IG name and an amount of percentage they give you, depending on how much it's being used, you can get into a privilege club. They can send you to travel to wherever you want. They can invite you to some events. You can get cash paid out for every single purchase with your code, stuff like this. So I'm pretty new into it. I'm just trying out. But to answer Sadiq's question, where I get my clothes, so there are some companies I'm working with. So check this out on my page.
So can I share how I do my fashion?
Please.
So first off, I think too many people are focused on brand. Like I didn't dress well. I grew up on thrift store stuff, which seems cool now, but back in '89, my family arrived to this country. If you shopped at a thrift store, you were poor. And now you shop at a thrift store, you're cool. And it's so weird. So first off, it's about being comfortable. It's about making sure that the piece fits and not just looks good. There was a moment in time, I went through these phases. Like it was like really bad clothing, that good, decent. And like I bought like anything I could at H&M or Zara back when it was still relatively new. And I would buy everything I liked. I was kind of like you.
Yeah.
Everything I liked, I would be like, I'm buying it, I'm buying it, I'm buying it, I'm buying it. And then I realized I'm not wearing half this shit anyway.
Same. Oh my God, are you speaking
And
about me?
so, no, it's exact. You're at the phase. You're at my phase like 3 years ago. And then I decided, I'm like, look, first off, nothing stays in my closet that hasn't been worn for a year or more. Hasn't been worn. So if it hasn't been worn, every spring, it goes away.
Like what? Do you donate it or
I donate it, yeah, or burn it if
Sell
it's
it.
if it's
do you do sell
has
them?
too much of my liquids on it.
Okay.
I mean, like, you know, sweat. So I sell, like, my assistant, she sold some of the clothes, so she helped me this year. So she found a few that she sold for like $40, whatever.
Okay.
It was nothing, but for her it was good. But then I just don't have a lot to get rid of anymore, because what I do is I only buy 1 or 2 items when I travel, which I really, really need, like not stuff that I already have. And it has to be really, really good, like something I really gonna wear all the time, okay?
Okay.
Then now my whole closet is full of good shit. Like I would say 80%, 90% of my items are things that I get compliments on, okay? Because I did that, right? I went through and I got compliments. I got rid of shit that I didn't want. So then 1 or 2 things. Now it's like, what did I tell you the other day? I'm like, I don't really need anything. But if I find something that can overtake my first 2 in a clothing line, so if I find shoes that are in the top 2 of all the shoes I have,
Okay.
I'll get those. But that's really hard to do now because my shoes are really fucking good.
Yeah. So where do you find your shoes if your shoes are already super cool and if you buy?
But it becomes harder and harder to buy stuff. But then you're not spending money
Yeah.
and your clothes still look great.
But isn't it like you create your own clothes?
Me?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
You put some LEDs.
I add LEDs to
yeah.
them, so like I do my own. Like if I'm getting into 3D modeling right now, or 3D printing, and laser cutting. I just took a laser cutting class, so I'll be hopefully in the future designing my own stuff.
Oh, I can wait.
But the problem with that again is like mass marketing, things like that, ecological issues. Like there's 1,000 things that go into running a business like that, and that's if you guys out there in the world get me far enough in stand-up comedy and movies and all that other bullshit to like make the money that an artist needs to create, and then I can create. So it's very, and then I'll get other artists to create my vision because I know how to do all of these things. I know how to do technology. I know you get to look pretty. Damn it, missed it. Anyway, so the last thing I do is I have the Vogue app, and the Vogue app actually has all the runway shows that have happened in spring and summer and other parts of the year. And so I go through all the designers and I look at all this shit a lot of stuff that I wouldn't even buy. But then when I go out in the world, I can see things that are like a combo of all these different designers, which other people don't see because they're just buying the designer. So they're buying the mass market product, So you just have to, you have a good style. It's just about narrowing it down to the best things in the world that you want to get. And then also they'll eliminate consumption. You're not buying stuff that and not to get me wrong here, I'm not one of the we gotta be green every day people, which we should be, but I'm not that adamant about it. But I know that if I buy a t-shirt, there's an ecological effect.
I mean, as long as you don't buy a Primark t-shirt, I think it's fine, because what I've heard about when people try to buy
Skywalker.
to buy just cheap stuff, not to spend too much money on some products, it's not always good, because you do not know in what conditions it was created and what labor it was used, children labor or whatsoever, you know? So people who actually work in production for Primark, they don't live long. So I saw a documentary about it. But
also, it takes fuel to get the products here. Someone has to make them. There's a lot of stuff that goes behind one thing. Anything we breathe, even on this, think about all the plastic bottles that are being used right now.
Yeah.
You know, so message from Greenpeace.
Greenpeace.
Look, Greenpeace, message from Greenpeace. Recycle.
What message? From
That's it,
us?
recycle.
Recycle.
From Greenpeace. You know what Greenpeace is?
I know Greenpeace.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what
That was
are they?
that was just a joke, but I think
Okay, so now I learned.
I think the German side of you didn't laugh at that one.
Now I learned not all of Sadiq jokes
Are funny,
are
no.
understandable for me.
Oh
and
no,
maybe
they
funny
probably
for
these guys probably
the
didn't
rest
laugh.
of the world.
These guys didn't laugh at it either.
Yeah, only the Greenpeace.
They were only watching for the guests.
Okay.
Like he's because I've by the way, here's a cool thing I did. I didn't even realize I've had 3 guests in a row for this season. All women, white women though,
From Europe?
but all women that were raised or born in Europe. Yeah. So the first one was Christina from Norway, and then my best friend Yevi, who's Russian, but we did Chicago because we grew up in Chicago, and then you're Ukrainian.
So that makes me think that you like to hang out with the European women.
I actually do think European are really awesome. Because both you guys have,
Oh, thank you for the compliment.
I mean, you guys are because
When
you're.
they get red, I normally get red when I get shy.
Yeah. Well, first off, you guys are very progressive. You're very enlightened. You're educated. So it's just easy. It's
Back.
easier to communicate. Like Finnish women, for example, I always talk about even Scandinavian women. They're very educated.
Indeed.
German women, you know, and German people. I don't want to say women here, but most of my friends are women, so it's not like that.
Yeah.
But going back to the fact that you're Ukrainian, my best friend's Russian. She doesn't like talking politics at all, so she has no opinions on any of that crap.
Neutral.
You too?
Just stay neutral, yeah, and
Just let Putin do whatever he wants, just stay neutral?
I mean, what can you do? We can talk long about politics. I do really think that people in Russia and now in Crimea, where I come from, which
And
became
Crimea, by the way, is the place that Russia occupied that is actually Ukrainian territory,
Yeah.
and it has a lot of resources, and it has like a Russian-centric and a Ukrainian-centric population. Hence, like half the population is for being annexed to Russia. So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so what I wanted to say is that I come from Crimea, and people in Crimea, so most of the population, maybe like 70% are indeed Russians. So
So it's
that's why-
bigger than what I thought.
more
Okay.
than more than a half. But I do think indeed that people in Russia, and including Crimea now, are very brainwashed. So whatever you say about Putin would be completely wrong for them, because they think
He's God.
they live in a very safe,
Yeah.
protected, happy life within Crimea. But they had never have an opportunity to travel, to see the rest of the world,
Right.
to exchange culturally with other nationalities. So I think it's very poor. Even if you reach like materialistically,
Right.
you're poor because you did not have a chance to see all this and to finally understand that the rest of the world is not your enemy.
Right.
People are very friendly all over.
Right.
Nobody will wish you harm or anything. And I think people just a little stuck in Russia, still in the Soviet Union period, where you have to keep everything inside of the country, everything closed, everything secret. Yeah. But it is what it is. So that's why I do not like to talk about politics, especially with my Ukrainian friends, because there are some divided opinions about
Right.
what happened in 2015. Yeah.
But that's again happening everywhere. You're looking at the U.S. as well. It's split. Now, I don't want to say it's split. It's actually 25% of the country that is for the president. It's just that Republicans are 25% of the country. Democrats are 32%. The rest is independents that don't do shit, and they don't want to be part of any of the parties. So the opinion looks divided, And then yes, of course, they all get brainwashed into thinking like, we have a great system.
Yeah.
We pay twice as much for healthcare than any other country. But so, are your parents still? Where are your parents?
So my both parents, they divorced, but they're living in the Crimea. My complete family is in Crimea. So my brother and his family, my grandparents.
So you go back.
I travel back home once a year, but honestly last time, I hope my parents won't see this video and won't understand this, but last time I was there, it was May this year. I decided for myself it was the last trip ever. I'm ready to help them out with the tickets, with so financially to somehow make this possible for them to come see me here than to go there, because this mentality, this just fucked up, backdated mentality, it just, you know, just killing me. I can't, you know. Everything is so dusty, people are so angry, so the traffic transportation is dirty, never comes on time. It's just very laid back economics
Sounds
and
like
education.
It sounds like America.
Really? Maybe like very,
Well,
very
the trains never
deep,
come on time.
deep parts, yeah.
Well, it's just that things in America are an illusion, right? We're an imperialist country, so we have. I mean, look, you can buy a lot of stuff for cheap, everything, but you know, you don't have basic rights. You know, you don't have basic health care. You don't, you know.
Yeah, I'm not speaking about healthcare at all. I mean, if you have problems with your health, it is too hard first to find a very good specialist, then to get an appointment for a surgery if you need one, you know. And then even if you have some policy.
No. I mean, I'm joking. I'm like joking about the fact that it sounds like America. I mean, I know it sounds like America. America's awesome. Let me come back into the country.
Yeah.
Let me come back. Immigration officer.
I know him as an America-loving
Please
person.
let me. I love America.
But for example, like,
That's why for July 4th I was in Europe,
Let me,
hanging out in Ibiza, where everyone here is like British.
yeah. How many people
That's
have met
ironic.
already? But indeed, there are a lot of British people. And on the other side of Ireland, it's just like a second United Kingdom, honestly.
Yeah, because that's the ironic part, because
Yeah.
I left Independence Day in America to come to a place where it's surrounded by British people. British, the Revolutionary War. Did you know that?
Are you proud?
Huh?
Are you proud?
I wasn't in the war. I came in 1989. I get to enjoy all the fruits of all the pain every other generation had to endure in this country. I just get to come here. I'm like, oh, my company pays for my health care.
But what about you? So how often do you go back home?
I haven't been back to Pakistan since I was 7. It's something I want to do. I put it on my list of things to do in 2020. But that's going to be weird.
Why? Long time past?
It's been a long time, and I'm not like, I identify as American. Like when people say I'm Mexican American or Pakistani American. Oh, there's the plane.
Oh, finally.
That's what you've been hearing throughout the video. You can't really escape that because it's a small island.
And you know,
The airport's right
somewhere
by.
else in the world, so in Germany, for example, I know people complaining about things like this. Here, people are just chilled. Nobody complains. There are a bunch of hotels here on the beach, and they keep hearing the sound during the whole day, maybe till like 11 p.m., and nobody ever complains. People came here just to party, enjoy, get to know other people. Super relaxed. I really like it here.
So, what was I fucking saying? Thank you. Can we get an interview with you? Is that possible? Can I get an interview with you? I do a show, a web series online called Walk With Sadiq.
Hi.
This is my guest. What's your name?
Nadia.
Nadia Sadiq.
Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you too. That's my friend Inga.
Nice
Sorry, what's your name?
Liam.
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 Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, brother.
So I'm recording a web series called Walk With Sadiq. My name is Sadiq. I go to different cities around the world. We met in Mykonos actually.
Great. I love
So you
Mykonos.
went there? Okay.
I was
I've been
last
Mykonos.
year in Mykonos. I was last year.
So the question is Mykonos or Ibiza?
I
Mykonos.
picked 100%.
Mykonos.
Interesting. Okay, why Mykonos?
First of all, Ibiza, and last year it became a place only for drugs and nothing else. I don't say I have a problem with drugs, everybody does drugs, it's okay. But here it's too much, too crazy. People don't enjoy actually being with each other anymore because they're too fucked up. They can't really talk to each other because they're always
Right.
in the club, you know.
Right.
And I was to Mykonos last year. They were with that do drugs. I do drugs. It's not something I'm
Yeah.
against
But it's like
it.
moderation, and it's not about.
It's less.
Yeah.
People are more friendly. People are welcoming the tourists better.
Okay.
And I felt better that way.
I say Ibiza because I've been here for 7 years.
Every year.
Every year for 7 years.
Okay, but and you've been to Mykonos.
I've been to Mykonos. Mykonos
But
is
why?
beautiful because we have a partnership over in Mykonos.
Okay.
We have a sister bar
Okay.
over in
But
Mykonos.
why Ibiza?
Why Ibiza?
Besides you being here for 7 years, what makes
people-
you?
Can't be objective
The
about
people, the atmosphere, the environment, the party, the life, the culture. It's a fucking amazing.
Okay. Ibiza or and you say different. Are you guys British or are you?
I'm British,
Okay.
Manchester.
British? Okay.
that. I'm half Italian, half Romanian.
Okay. I wasn't sure about you, but I could tell he was
Yeah,
British.
about his
And also-
accent, definitely.
Not just the accent, the way he pronounced Ibiza. He calls it Ibiza, and I was like, that's a British
Yeah.
way of saying it.
It is.
Look, Americans aren't the only one that colonialize.
Where are you from?
I'm from America. Well, I was born in Pakistan,
Okay.
raised in Chicago, live in New York.
Okay.
I go
So-
to Miami for Winter Music Conference
Okay,
every
so-
year, March.
Okay. So I'm gonna finish 1 second. Ibiza or
Ibiza.
why?
Why? So last year I went to Ibiza and afterwards I went to Mykonos. What I like about Ibiza, people are more open here and that's
Open-minded.
open-minded and it's just like easy going everything. Mykonos,
yes.
I found Mykonos a little too luxury. I don't know. People just try
Yeah,
to show
that's right.
off.
In Ibiza, people just want to come and party, you know.
Yeah, they just dress up. They just, you can see this arrogance in their faces. This is what I did not like about Mykonos, and you definitely don't find this in Ibiza. So this is my third time here. I never saw this.
The volume is
Yeah.
too high to realize.
Maybe
always
so
too
like
high to
Ibiza is
Mine-
number one.
mine was Mykonos originally, but I've only been here for a day, and I think I see what you mean about the welcoming part because I did feel more of that in Mykonos.
And
Again,
bartenders,
I haven't been here
waitresses.
I've only been in Ibiza for a day, so you can't I can't judge everything on
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
I can't say anything about the druggy part because I have no idea, and I'm not against drugs either.
Yeah.
I'm for legalization of all drugs; it'd be better. You know.
I
So
agree with you. The thing that I agree, Mykonos is definitely luxury, which I actually like, but it's more luxury and everybody dressed up because they're not that packed up to not realize how they go out of house.
Right.
But I've seen in Ibiza people just throwing up in the middle of the street, people that just sleeping in the middle, and I know nothing about people that don't have a house. I talk about extra
just like someone who
tourists.
went out and partied and they just
And
can't get
doesn't
home.
matter, doesn't
Yeah.
But friends of friends that just like that, their friends in the street because they're too fucked up to realize that their friends need help.
Right.
I love Ibiza. Actually, I love it. I love it. But if I have to choose, it's
We don't make it known. So, okay, I still have to make a decision for the future, but thank you guys for joining the interview.
welcome.
And
You're
give me can I give hugs?
No, I mean, I love it.
Yes, you can. Enjoy your staying in Ibiza.
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna give you guys my info too. So yeah,
Yes,
maybe
yes, sure.
Yeah.
I grab a card.
Smash
Thank
it.
you.
Whichever one.
Definitely
Alright.
look for it.
All right, take care.
you,
Bye.
Enjoy your stay. Bye. Yeah.
So it's a 2 to 2.
But
So
honestly,
it's actually
let us-
2 to 1.5.
Yeah, and just one comment to this topic comparison, Ibiza or Mykonos. Have you had a chance to do this in Mykonos, and were people as friendly as here in Ibiza about this like video stuff and just interaction?
Well, I never
very-
did Mykonos. That's the thing, and I think I
Okay.
definitely think that interaction's easier here, and I also think like part of it is that a lot of Italians go to Ibiza. Or, like there's certain parts of the like Italians and Russians seem to go to Ibiza. Am I right? Maybe.
Yes, but also Mykonos. They also go
Sorry,
to
not Ibiza. Mykonos.
Mykonos.
A lot of them go there, but a lot of Brits come here, and Italians come here too. But they're more chiller Brits, you know, because Brits are like, you know, will drink a beer. They don't have to drink, you know, a mocktail or not a mocktail, cocktail. I order mocktails because I don't drink alcohol. But yeah, well, you know, I think either place would be fun to go to if you want to visit. You're not gonna
Honestly, yeah. Every single place in this world has its pros and cons,
Yeah.
and everywhere
And
you
some
can
some
find-
places in the world have a lot of cons, but and no pros. Well, I went to Boston recently, and I know if I ever went to Boston, they would kick my ass for saying it, but
Okay, why?
it's not even in my top 10 in America. Why? Because it's like you go there for education, go there to learn, or you're raised there, right? There's a lot of weird racism still there. Like I had a couple of people attack me down the street, not attack, like verbally attack me down the street there. It's just, it's not like, what do you think of Boston when you say Boston?
For me, it's just a miniature of New York. I
You
mean,
think it's a miniature of New York?
I'm sorry, all the
Chicago is
Boston
way
people.
Chicago is way better miniature of New York
By the way,
than Boston.
yeah, so I'm sorry. I've been to Boston only twice. I did not see much. I saw Harborside.
You did
It
not
was-
see
it was
much.
Beautiful. I know they have very good lobster restaurants.
Yeah,
I enjoy lobster food there, definitely.
yeah. Those are the
And,
same things people say about Maine. Who wants to go to Maine? But that's my point. Is that whole region?
Yeah.
It's like this weird New England region. It's like it's pretty boring. I don't understand. Besides the historical context, like that's where history was set. If you're a history buff, you want to see some cool shit, you go to Boston or Philly. Okay.
Yeah.
Or obviously New York, but really Boston or Philly.
Yeah.
But honestly, I thought Philly was a little nicer, but it was kind of equivalent.
Never been to.
I don't know, Chicago, New York all year round if you want to visit. Chicago in the summertime, LA, Miami, San
I
Francisco,
love LA. I love LA.
Austin,
And by the way, let me interrupt
Denver.
you.
I love Denver, by the way.
Okay.
Mainly because of their healthy food. It's sourced really well. Colorado is a very liberal state. It's a liberal, socially liberal, fiscally conservative. Finish your thought. We actually have to end our segment for today. Look, I said 30 minutes. It's already at 42. We've been going on after we started talking, right? It became easier.
Yes. I'm not nervous. I don't want to poop. I actually have always belly ache when I'm nervous. But yeah, so what I wanted to add
Earlier, she
is-
said, I'm nervous, and whenever I get nervous, I have to poop. And I'm like, that's human. A lot of people feel that way. Say that on camera.
But I think a lot of people think girls, like they don't poop, or even if they poop, they like poop.
You're not
with
allowed to be,
unicorns.
yeah.
Yeah, and
You guys don't
butterflies
poop
come
with,
out.
no one. I thought you guys poop with flowers.
I thought so too. Can you imagine how big was my disappointment?
My
when I realized
my poop
it's
is
not like
unicorns actually.
that? Oh,
My poop is
yeah.
unicorns. Did you guys know that? All different colors. I think I should see a
I'm
doctor.
jealous.
All right, finish your thought.
Yeah, what I wanted to say before I forget, I'm traveling actually with Katya, by the way, we discuss it with you later. We're traveling to Chicago in September.
Chicago.
Staying for 2 days.
We go to Chicago,
That's
huh?
why I need your recommendations.
I
on
need the
what
recommendations to
district
Chicago.
to
Chicago.
avoid, where to go.
I don't
what
want to get
visit
shot
days.
in
Can you
Chicago.
Shut up. Shut up and
I don't want to
and
die.
listen.
There's a lot of gun violence in Chicago.
And then we rent a car and drive down to LA. And,
66?
hopefully I have also my driver license by then. I'm very close to my exam, so we can switch because it's a long road. And I'm very excited about it. Yeah, and then we stay 5 more days in LA, so it's gonna be a very exciting trip. So if
Are you gonna have some in and out?
in and out.
How many times have you been to Los Angeles?
Okay, this will be my 3rd time.
You've never been to an in and out burger place?
No, I don't eat burger. I don't like burger. I'm not a burger person. I do not eat meat, or I eat very less meat. So what's necessary? Help me out.
Whatever is necessary. A necessity.
Yeah, it's not a necessity.
Oh, it's not a necessity to you.
for me to go to a burger place if I do not eat meat. So how can I
Yeah.
enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thanks Inga for joining.
You are very welcome.
You can catch her at on Instagram at my_Inga, so INGGA. And I'll let you know some recommendations for Chicago
Thank you.
Later. Love you.
Laters,
Thanks so
babes.
much. Bye.